Haircuts. I, like most people, have haircuts. Am I right?
I haven't cut my hair in my life.
Okay. Good for you. The problem with having a lot of haircuts is that you know that they wouldn't always turn out perfect. I've had good hair days as much as the bad ones. Oh right, if you were wondering, I'm remaking the original haircuts video because I totally dislike how I voiced it. I knew I should have done better because I loved the stories and how I animated it too, but the audio made it unwatchable for me, since I make content that personally I would watch. But apparently some of you liked it, so I'm pretty much remaking it for myself. I'm not gonna take that video down just so you can be able to compare them. So just enjoy better animation, voice acting, changing script, and overall quality in this video, in which I'm gonna tell you about the evolution of my hair and talk about the interesting stories of going to the barber. So let's rewind time a little bit, back to kindergarten 2, the first day of my new school. From KG2 to 3rd grade, I would be cutting my hair exactly like my good friend Quita Widow does. And while I was in the 3rd grade and my brother in the 4th, my dad told us that when we bumped up a grade, we would be allowed to cut any haircuts of our choice. But with terms and conditions applied, of course. So naturally, as kids tend to do, I started to hate the haircut I used to do even though I didn't even mind in the first place. And even went to the extent of wearing a hoodie to school to hide my shame. Firstly, I think this is the dumbest thing I've ever done, since my classmates already knew the haircut I did, and secondly, it attracted bullying. My friend Mario, obviously not his real name, did the classic funny man trick on me by removing my hoodie in front of the class, and that scene still plays in my head every night before I sleep, along with every other embarrassing things that have ever happened to me. To my astonishment, 3rd grade went by fairly quick, and my brother and I chose this haircut which is on screen right now, which I don't know the name of. I love this haircut because it gave me a good amount of buff in the looks department, but it still didn't reduce the amount of people slapping my head after class. I still have no idea why. I continued using this style until the 6th grade. I went to my grandparents' place for a vacation. Since I needed a haircut, I went to my grandpa's barber, and he gave me a terrible haircut. This is why you should only be cutting old people's hair. Here's your payment. I told my cousin, who had no experience with hair whatsoever, about my predicament, and he shaped and faded my hair. I've been using that style ever since. So you're telling me someone with no experience with hair did better than you? You should be ashamed, young man. The fade also dramatically reduced the amount of people slapping my head after class, which was nice. So there are 3 barbers at the barber shop I go to. The first one is the boss, who is probably the best and most experienced barber I've ever been to. Second is Uncle Christian. He's been cutting our hair for years and always gets it right, which makes him my favorite. And lastly, the other guy. I still haven't gotten his name. It's more of a hit or miss situation from him. Either you get an okay haircut or a bad one. There's no in between. Okay, last story. One day, our parents told my brother and I to cut our hair even though mine looked perfect. But I still said okay and kept it pushing. My dad always used to threaten to send us back to the barber shop if we left too much hair on our heads, which we thought was a possibility, but not too much. Oh, is that foreshadowing I see? We went to the shop and got a great haircut from the boss, which we were happy with. We hoped our dad was bluffing about the whole hair thing, but then realized he wasn't. Even though my mom and sister loved it, my dad still told us to go cut our hair again, which you would imagine to be a very awkward situation. Well, that's enough hair related stories I can remember right now. So listen to Philip 40 and card again and keep practicing, it makes you perfect.
Thanks for watching. I feel a little off because this is my channel or my video, so go subscribe to me if you want. Philip Animates, but You don't have to if you don't want to, but it would make me really happy if you did. Thank you, Elliot, for having me in your video. Thanks for watching again, and bye.